Greetings, Mort Walker fans. Beetle Bailey and Spider. If you haven't heard of Spider, when I get through telling you about this book, you're going to know a lot more about Spider. If you buy the book, you're going to know even more. Here is the new Mort Walker monograph, The Life and Art of Mort Walker, written by his friend and his assistant for many, many years, Mr. Bill Janoka. Bill Janoka wrote this book. He worked with Mort Walker on it, and we kickstarted this book, so some of you already know about it. And we have two editions. We have the regular edition. I'll be discussing both of them, which is orange. And we have the limited edition, of which there are very few copies because it's limited. And why is the edition limited? Well, in addition to having a kind of army green cover, it comes with a special original drawing done by Mort Walker for this book at the request of Bill Janoka, and Mort wanted to help him promote this book. So we have an original drawing of Mort Walker, signed by Mort Walker. It's not of Mort Walker. We have an original drawing signed by Mort of, guess who? Beetle Bailey or Spider. That's the precursor of Beetle Bailey. Now, you get one or the other, and you can't pick them. We didn't do the Kickstarter that way, but they're sold out. You can't get them. If you participated in the Kickstarter and you helped fund the publication of this book, you are guaranteed to get one of these original drawings with this book, and they're numbered on the back, and they're original, and you can frame it, you can leave it in the book, you can do whatever you want to do with it. It belongs to you, and it's an original drawing, if I didn't mention that. Now, let's take a look at, hold on for one moment. There we go. I was losing my resolution on the screen. Here is the regular edition, and this is a 256-page book. This is what we call the end paper, and it's kind of neat. Bad word, neat. But it is because what it does is it encapsulates the theme of the book. It has the characters from Spider talking to Sarge. So you have before and after. And he's introducing his group of friends to Sarge. It says, Sarge, meet my old school buddies, Bitter Bill, Diamond Jim, Freshman, and Sweat Sock. So he's telling Sarge. And Sarge, of course, is looking at him like, huh? Okay. So we all know who Sarge is, right? Okay. So here is a look at the interior of this book. The layout, if I do say so myself, I designed the book, is pretty neat. And it has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of original gag cartoons, documentary materials. It has a number of chapters which deal with Mort Walker's entire life. It also has Brad Anderson's, the creator of Marmaduke. He wrote a foreword. And we also have Orlando Bucino, who also wrote a foreword, but it's not called a foreword. It is called More on Mort. And then we have the book itself. So we have early pictures that Mort did when he was 5 and 6 years old. And we have advertisements. And Mort Walker started out at a very young age being a cartoonist and actually doing published cartoons, and began doing gag cartoons at a very early age. And then he went into these, so we have all of that documented. And he was working for the Kansas City Star when, here we go, here are pictures of that, cartoons that he did and people that influenced him. And he created a comic strip called The Lime Juicers. And he started developing his style doing gag cartoons. So we have a lot of the gag cartoons. And what this book has, which is something that's never been done as far as Mort Walker is concerned, and it's historically interesting and funny too, if you can be historically interesting and funny, is we have a number of gag cartoons that were published and unpublished, as well as roughs for these cartoons, most of which look at the character Spider, who's the precursor of Beetle Bailey. We have sidebars here. What was in his library, for instance? And we have a lot of documentary materials in here from the Army and from when he first got his, here, for instance, here's documentary material. And this would be his enlisted record and report of separation when he was in the Army. And the Army was obviously an influence on him because that's how Beetle Bailey was influenced. But Beetle Bailey didn't start out as Beetle Bailey. Beetle Bailey started out as Spider. And we've already shown you a picture of Spider. Here are more gag cartoons. We're building up to the creation of Spider. And here we go. And here's Mort Walker looking in the mirror and seeing Spider. Anyway, this character morphed into Beetle Bailey, which became extremely relevant in many ways and popular. And is still a very, very, here's more different cartoons, and it's still a very, very popular strip all over the world. So we have a complete look into Mort Walker's life. Here are some of the gag cartoons. You can see we have 200 and 300 pages, so they're plenty big, so you can see them. And we have a checklist of the published works that he did in gag cartoons, and we have acknowledgments. And the back of the book is kind of neat because the back of the book has quotes from different cartoonists. For instance, Jim Davis, who created Garfield, is commenting, and Arnold Roth is commenting, and Gary Trudeau, who created Doonesbury, is commenting. So we have this fantastic book. It's printed, it's done, it's in transit from the printer in China. And it should be here in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So it'll be available for Christmas. If you want to buy the regular edition, you can buy it directly from us, or you can buy it through your comic book store. And if you want the limited edition, you already bought it. And thank you very much for helping us. We sincerely appreciate your support of this book. It would not be possible had it not been for people who purchased these books on our Kickstarter, which gave us the ability to print this very large, very complete book about Mort Walker, the creator of Beetle Bailey and Spider. So that's it for now. Bye-bye.